The sky over New Horizon was calm and blue, stretching for miles without a single cloud. The human colony had lived in peace for 10 long years, ever since the great accord with the alien race called the Zar. Children played in the streets, robots cleaned the roads, and humans worked together to build a future full of hope. Every day was quiet, almost too quiet, but nobody worried. Because peace had lasted a decade, Commander Elena Drake stood on the observation tower, looking at the horizon with her binoculars. She loved this quiet life, but something inside her felt wrong. The sensors on the tower suddenly beeped, a soft warning at first, then louder and louder. "Commander, we are detecting multiple unidentified ships approaching from the north," said Lieutenant Harris, his voice tense. Elena's heart skipped a beat. She knew the message they had hoped never to hear. The people of New Horizon looked up, their laughter fading as the sky darkened. Shadows grew long across the city as enormous alien ships appeared, black and sharp, moving silently. The Zarians had promised peace. They had signed the accord. They had promised to leave humanity alone. Yet here they were, not as allies, not as friends, but as attackers. Sirens screamed, warning citizens to take cover. Families ran, grabbing what little belongings they could. The sky filled with strange lights, beams cutting through the clouds. Buildings shook, alarms echoed, and smoke started rising from the outskirts of the colony. Elena activated the emergency defense systems. Fighter drones lifted from the hangars, their engines roaring as they went into formation. But the alien ships moved with a strange precision, avoiding attacks easily. It was not just an attack, it was a demonstration of power, and the Zarians wanted humanity to see it. In the center of the city, a giant message appeared in the sky, written in alien symbols, glowing red. The scientists scrambled to translate it, hands shaking. Finally, a rough translation appeared on the screens. "We gave you 10 years of peace. You returned only with death and destruction." Elena read it twice, her face pale. But what could they mean? She whispered. Nobody understood. The humans had done nothing. They had followed the accord. They had hoped for harmony. Explosions rocked the city, sending debris into the air. Robots tried to help civilians, forming barriers and guiding people to shelters. The sky burned with alien fire. But Elena noticed something unusual. The ships did not attack everything, only certain areas. Almost as if they were searching for something, Elena ran to the command center, gathering her team. "Prepare the defense, but stay calm," she ordered. Her eyes scanned the incoming ships, trying to find any weakness. Some drones returned fire, small bursts of energy that barely scratched the alien hulls. The city was alive with fear and chaos. Yet in the middle of it, humans helped each other. Strangers lifting fallen debris, guiding the elderly, protecting children. Elena realized something important. Humanity was not weak. They had survived wars, plagues, and disasters, and even now, in the face of impossible odds, they would not give up. As the first wave of alien ships hovered over the city, preparing to strike again, Elena whispered to herself, "We will survive. We must survive." Little did they know, this was only the beginning. The real war, the war for humanity's future, had just begun. The first strike the morning after the arrival, New Horizon lay in ruins. Buildings were broken, streets were cracked, and smoke still rose from the fires the Zarians had left behind. Humans moved carefully among the wreckage, helping each other, searching for survivors. The calm of the past 10 years had disappeared, replaced with fear and confusion. Commander Elena Drake stood in the command center, her hands tight on the console. She watched the alien ships hovering over the city, waiting. Their dark hulls gleamed in the sunlight, a warning to humans everywhere. Lieutenant Harris approached her, worry clear in his eyes. "Commander, they are preparing another strike. We cannot hold them with just drones," he said. Elena nodded, her mind racing. She knew they had to fight smarter, not just harder. Suddenly, the aliens fired again, energy beams cutting through the sky. The beams hit the east sector, where residential buildings stood. People screamed as robots tried to shield them, but many were trapped under debris. The first strike had begun in full, and the humans had to respond. Elena called for all pilots to prepare their fighter drones. Young cadets and veterans alike jumped into the cockpits. The drones lifted into the sky, engines roaring like thunder. They fired at the alien ships, small bursts of energy bouncing off the alien shields. It was clear their technology was far superior, but Elena noticed a pattern, a rhythm in the attack. The aliens seemed to target certain buildings and avoid others. She studied the movement closely, tracing the flight paths. "It's not random," she told Harris. "They are looking for something specific." Harris frowned. "Something humans have, but what?" Meanwhile, in the central plaza, civilians worked to save the trapped. Medical teams treated burns and broken limbs. Children clung to their parents, eyes wide with fear. Yet even in chaos, humans showed courage, carrying the injured to safety, forming chains to move debris, never giving up. The aliens struck again, faster this time, their beams scorching the ground. Drones and humans tried to defend the city, but every move seemed anticipated. Alina realized they needed more than brute force. They needed strategy. She called her top engineers and scientists to find a weakness, anything at all. "Focus on their shields, their engines, anything that can slow them down," she ordered. In the sky, the fight became fierce, bright explosions lighting up the morning. One drone managed to hit a small alien wing, sending sparks flying. It was not much, but it was enough to give hope. Humans cheered from shelters. "We can fight back," they shouted. Then came the twist. A loud vibration shook the ground. The aliens had launched something different. A giant sphere descending slowly. It was too large to destroy with drones, too fast to evacuate entirely. Elena's heart sank. She knew this could destroy the city in minutes. She gave the order, "Activate emergency barriers. Protect the civilians. We will not let them win." The first strike ended as suddenly as it began. The alien ships hovered once more, as if watching humanity, waiting for their next move. Alina looked over her team, tired but determined. "We survived the first strike," she said quietly, "but the real fight has just begun." And in the shadows of the ruined city, a new determination grew. Humans would fight, and they would not give up. Secrets of the enemy. The morning after the first strike, New Horizon was quiet, but tense. The city still smoldered, and the humans worked tirelessly to rebuild what had been lost. Commander Elena Drake walked through the streets, her eyes scanning every damaged building. She saw fear, yes, but she also saw determination in every face. Humans would not break, she reminded herself. In the command center, scientists gathered around strange alien devices recovered from the first strike. Some were damaged, but others seemed functional, humming with a power humans could barely understand. Dr. Malik, the lead scientist, looked up at Alina. "Commander, these devices, they contain information, patterns, maybe even messages." Alina nodded. "Then we must find out what they know about us, or what they want." The team worked day and night, connecting wires, running simulations, trying to unlock the secrets. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Harris reported strange activity on the sensors. Some alien ships were moving in a pattern different from before, almost like they were searching for something on the planet. Alina studied the reports, frowning. "It's more than revenge," she said. "They are looking for something specific." Her mind raced, thinking of every possible reason, every human action over the last 10 years. What could the aliens be angry about? What had humans done without knowing? Deep in the laboratory, a breakthrough came. Dr. Malik shouted, "Commander, look at this." Alina rushed over to the main console, her eyes widening. The recovered alien devices contained records from 10 years ago, recordings of humanity's early interactions with the Zarians, and the truth was shocking. The Zarians had believed humans had betrayed them, a misunderstanding, a small act of aggression that humans had thought was harmless. But to the aliens, it had been a sign of disrespect, a reason to strike. Alina clenched her fists. "All these years, we thought we were safe, and they were planning this." The anger and frustration were heavy, but there was also a new clarity. Alina called her top team into the room. "We need a plan, but first, we need to understand them." Harris spoke. "If it's a misunderstanding, maybe we can stop it without more death." Alina shook her head. "They have already decided. They don't see peace anymore, only punishment." Her eyes moved to the screens showing alien formations. "But we can fight smart. We can turn their strength against them." Outside, humans continued to prepare. Engineers repaired drones, weapons were upgraded, and barricades were reinforced. Children learned to hide safely, and families trained in emergency drills. The city was alive with a mix of fear and courage. Every human knew that the aliens were coming again, stronger than before. Then came another discovery, more personal this time. The devices revealed the aliens were targeting specific humans, leaders and scientists who had unknowingly influenced past events. Alina realized the stakes were higher than she thought. It was no longer just a battle for the city, it was a battle for survival, for every life on New Horizon, and the humans had to be clever, not just strong. Alina gathered her team in the command center. "We now know why they strike, and we now know what they want," she said. "But knowing is not enough," she added, her voice firm. "We must act, we must fight, and we must protect our people." The room was silent, but the determination in every face was clear. Humans would not bow. Humans would not surrender, and deep down, Alina knew the real fight had only just begun. The counter-stricketh night sky over New Horizon was filled with tension. The humans had learned from the first strike, and now they prepared to fight back. Commander Alina Drake stood in the command center, maps and screens glowing in front of her. Every drone, every weapon, every human fighter was ready, and the city held its breath. "Tonight, we fight smarter, not just harder," Alina said to her team. The alien ships had superior firepower, but humans had something the Xerians could not predict: creativity and strategy. Lieutenant Harris nodded. "We can use their patterns against them." Alina smiled grimly. "Exactly. We hit them where they do not expect, and we protect our people at the same time." Outside, the city was quiet, almost too quiet. Civilians hid in shelters, while engineers and pilots readied their machines. Drones hovered silently, their engines humming, and defense turrets scanned the skies. The first wave of the counterstrike began when Alina gave the order. Small human drones darted into the shadows, invisible to the alien sensors. The aliens attacked as expected, firing energy beams and scanning the city, but human traps and diversions worked perfectly. Some drones pretended to retreat, luring the alien ships into narrow canyons where turrets waited. Explosions lit the night sky, and the aliens faltered for the first time. Humans cheered quietly in the command center, knowing this was only the beginning. Meanwhile, Alina led a small strike team in a hovercraft toward one of the alien ships. They moved silently, avoiding patrols, using their knowledge of the city to stay hidden. Inside the alien ship, alarms blared as the team planted EMP charges. The ship's systems began to fail, lights flickering, engines sputtering. Alina whispered, "This is for our city, and for our people." In the skies above, other drones coordinated attacks, striking weak points the scientists had discovered. The aliens struggled to adapt, their precise attacks slowed by human ingenuity. Every victory was small, but each one gave hope. Humans who had been afraid now shouted with joy. They realized that even against impossible odds, they could fight, they could survive. Then came a critical moment. A massive alien ship prepared to fire a weapon that could destroy an entire sector. Alina and Harris worked frantically in the command center, coordinating every drone, every turret. The smaller strike team distracted the ship, while others disabled its shield generators. Finally, the weapon failed, exploding harmlessly in space. The humans were not done, but the tide had turned. The aliens retreated slightly, regrouping, confused by the humans' clever tactics. Alina looked out over the city, her eyes tired but determined. "We fought with brains, courage, and hearts, not just weapons," she said quietly. The humans had shown the first real resistance, and it had worked, in the shadows. However, the Xarians watched, their anger burning. They realized humanity was not weak, that their attack had awakened something powerful. The war was far from over, and the humans knew it, but for the first time, hope glimmered in their hearts. They had struck back, they had survived, and they were ready for what came next. Humanity's triumph. The skies above New Horizon were filled with alien ships once more, but this time, humans were ready. Commander Alina Drake stood on the observation tower, her eyes scanning the horizon. Her heart beat fast, but her mind was clear. The counterstrike had given them hope, and now it was time to finish what they had started. The aliens moved quickly, their massive ships casting shadows over the city. Energy beams lit the sky, buildings shook, and civilians hid in shelters. But humans were no longer afraid. Every drone, every turret, every human fighter knew their role. They moved with precision, courage, and determination. Alina gave the order, "All units, engage, and protect the city at all costs." The sky became a battlefield. Bright flashes of light cutting through the darkness. Drones darted between alien ships, striking weak points discovered in the earlier attacks. Human engineers activated EMP devices, disabling shields and engines. Explosions rocked the alien fleet. sending ships spinning into the sky. Lieutenant Harris led a squadron of fighter drones into the heart of the enemy formation. They dodged beams and debris, firing at critical points, one by one. Alien ships began to falter, their formations breaking. Even the massive command ship struggled to maintain control. It was clear that humanity was turning the tide inside the command ship. Alina and a strike team prepared for a final mission. Their target, the main control core that directed the alien fleet. They moved quickly, silently, using every skill they had learned. Alarms blared, and Zorian guards scrambled. But the humans were faster, smarter, braver. With careful precision, they planted charges and prepared to detonate. Outside, the humans continued the battle, holding the line, protecting civilians. Every success gave hope. Every explosion brought them closer to victory. Finally, the charges went off, sending a massive shockwave through the command ship. The alien fleet lost coordination, ships colliding, falling from the sky. The humans cheered quietly in the command center. Knowing the end was near, the Zarians began to retreat, their anger and power finally held in check. Alina watched as the last of the alien ships disappeared over the horizon. The city was battered, but alive. People emerged from shelters, hugging each other, crying, laughing. Humans had survived against impossible odds. They had fought back, and they had won. Alina looked out over the city, her heart swelling with pride. We gave peace, but we would never bow to destruction, she whispered. The humans had learned the cost of vigilance, the importance of courage and unity. They had defended their home, their families, their future, and even though scars remained, hope shone brighter than ever. In the weeks that followed, the city rebuilt itself stronger than before. New strategies, new defenses, and new bonds of trust formed among humans. They knew the Zarians might return one day, but they were ready. For now, humanity had triumphed, and their story would be remembered for generations. Alina smiled, knowing that the courage of humans had saved not just their city, but their very spirit. The war was over, but the legend of humanity had just begun. Shadows of the future, the city of New Horizon had rebuilt itself. Buildings stood tall, streets were clean, and children laughed once more. Humanity had survived, and the people celebrated their victory. Commander Elena Drake walked through the city, proud but wary, even in peace. She could feel the tension in the air, a quiet warning. The alien fleet had retreated beyond the stars, but the Zarians were not gone forever. Scouts and spies had reported unusual activity in distant systems, signals and energy readings that did not match anything humans had seen before. Elena frowned, knowing the war might return. But this time, they would be ready. In the command center, scientists analyzed the alien devices recovered during the battles. Dr. Malik had discovered new patterns, hidden codes that humans had not understood before. These signals, they may be messages or traps, he warned. Elena studied the data, her mind racing. Or they may be warnings of something worse. Every new discovery reminded humans that victory was only temporary. Meanwhile, life in the city moved on. Families returned to their routines. Schools opened, markets filled with people. Yet beneath the smiles, the memory of destruction lingered. Humans knew they had faced near annihilation, and they would not forget, for forgetting could be deadly. Then, in the depths of space, a new signal appeared, stronger than before, impossible to ignore. It pulsed like a heartbeat, rhythmic and strange. Lieutenant Harris watched it closely. "Commander, this is not like the Zarians we fought," he said. Elena's eyes narrowed. "No, it's not, but it's coming closer." The people of New Horizon looked to the skies with a mixture of fear and hope. They had survived impossible odds before, and they would do so again. Soldiers trained harder. Engineers improved defenses, and civilians learned survival skills. Humanity had learned the cost of peace and the value of courage. Every person knew that, even in celebration, vigilance was necessary. Alina gathered her team one last time. "We fought for our home, and we won," she said, her voice steady. "But the universe is vast, and danger never sleeps." Harris nodded. "Then we stay ready. Always." And in that moment, the city of New Horizons seemed alive with determination. The signal grew stronger, pulsing through space. Its meaning was unknown, its intent unclear. Yet humans,